The Luma cereals Threshers was developed to whip rice and fresh cereals such as corn, soybean, and beans. It is driven by the tractor's power takeoff or by an electric motor, depending on the configuration that can be optional. It has a set of wheels for transportation. Before coupling the implement to the tractor, you must check if the support feet are in the rest position. Separate the parts that came with the implements and leave them separate. And with the help of an assistant, attach the feed chute using the bolts and nuts. Open the sieve compartment and check there is nothing obstructing the implement's drive. After fixing the feeding chute, fix the beater in the tractor arms. And level it with the tractor, adjusting it with the tractor's movable arm. It has no fixation in the 30 point. Cut the cardam according to the ideal size of the tractor, remembering that the solid square is on the implement side and the tubular is on the tractor side. Make sure there is no one around and activate the tractor's power takeoff at 540 revolutions per minute. And see if there is any anomaly and strange noises, and then turn off the tractor's power takeoff. If the mixer is for an electric motor, you must consult an electrician to assemble the motor. A sticker with adjustment instructions is glued on the mixer, and we will use it in the following adjustments. To beat rice. The rice brains should be no more than 40 cm long. It should already have been cut leather. All movable arcs and pins must be not fixed in the rotor and rotor chamber. For threshing dry beans, all movable hoops and pins should not be attached for the rotor and the rotor chamber. For the threshing green beans, only the green bean cluster and not the green bean comb. Place pins A in positions 1, 2, 3, and 4. And attach ball B in position 5. To thresh common dry soybeans, remove your rotor pins and hoops from the rotor chamber. To thresh dry robusta soybeans, place the A pins in positions 1, 2, 3, and 4. And do not use any of the hoops. To thresh dry corn, do not use any pins in the rotor and place arc C in position 6. When we beat certain types of cereals in the mixer, the remains of straw and husks remain on the surface of the cleaning sieve, so that the mixer removes as much of these impurities as possible. We must check the following settings. For the suction of these residues, we must loosen the nut and adjust up or down, taking care not to obstruct the passage of the grains and only stay at a distance that allows the aspirated air to suck up only the impurities. To regulate the suction air strength, we must open or close the little door. Opening or pulling the lever will increase the suction strength, and the opposite, closing, it will decrease the suction strength. To know if the regulation is correct, we must check if the grain and impurities are coming out of the outlet spout. In the upper part of the feeder have a counter cover, which must remain open only for corn, and for the older cereals it must remain closed. Beside the feeder there is a lever that serves to increase or decrease the output of the feeder roll pins, which must be kept on the position indicated for each type of cereal. For example, to whip corn, we must put in position 3. In the pre-cleaving sieve, we have a regulation of the foods gate where cereals residues can come out, which must remain open for corn and closed for all the over cereals. When the mixer is on uneven terrain, it has a leaving device that can be adjusted to level it because the correct leaving of the mixer will provide greater performance and productivity. For a better performance of the mixer, you must always keep the rotation of 540 RPM in the tractor's power intake, and always keeping a constant cereal feeding in the feeding chute. A non-constant feeding can cause loss of productivity and quality in the cereal beating. After 10 hours of work, retighten all screws, nuts and grease all bearings. Daily clean the rotor chamber and the sieves. To do this, open the top and side cover. Stretching the belts. For this produce, we must make sure that the tractor is totally off. To stretch the belts, you must first open the cover and then check its tensioning. If you need to adjust the tensioning, we must loosen the 2 nuts and rotate the support with the pulley against the belts. And after tightening the nuts, we have 2 tensioners, one for each pair of belts, and the procedure for both is the same. To strengthen the rotor belts, we must loosen the 4 nuts, and then loosen the stretcher nuts and turn the screw of the tightening direction until we get a desirable stretching. After this, retighten the 4 nuts and the stretcher screw nuts. Luma Agricultural Implements.